Hey bros, welcome I guess and like whatever to like the nomads of like fantasy, bro. This is like an audio thing where like we talk into these things and like other people listen. This is like episode like 100 whatever, something like that. With us this week, we got Brandon with us, I think.
You see, a pimp's love is very different from that of a square.
Oh, you took mine.
That's
fine.
That is absolutely very true.
Collins is great, dude.
We also have with us Eric, I think, too.
Go away, I'm baiting.
I can't keep doing that. It's like a dumb surfer voice. I don't know what it is. These are all
like
quotes
Valley
from
Girl almost.
Idiocracy. And it, I mean, they make note about how like the English language has decomposed in the future, but yeah, these are all from Idiocracy, a movie that came out in 2006.
But it was
directed by Mike Judge.
But it was created in 2004, which is interesting. So put a pin in that because YouTube came out in 2005.
Okay.
And just the stuff that they show, it's I don't know. I love movies that do future shit, and like within reason, the guy did a pretty good job painting the future for fucking comedy.
Yeah. The way that we're going now, and it's kind of like a social commentary. It's not like a yuckity yuck yuckity yuck comedy. It's more of like a, you know, I don't want to say a thinking man's comedy because it's just making fun of dumb people the entire time too.
That's giving it way too much credit.
It's good. It gets mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people don't.
Sure.
You know, you got to kind of pay attention, and you got to kind of appreciate the idiocracy of it. But we did ping the socials to hear what they kind of had to say about it.
We
give that over.
We didn't get much of a response.
Okay.
We had one lone on Twitter. Of course, Jake Iveson, our good buddy, says, I've seen this one a lot. Wouldn't be surprised at all if in the next few years people actually think about using an electrolyte beverage to try and grow crops.
I mean, who hasn't thought about that?
Right?
Like it's got what plants want.
It's got what plants crave.
Oh, yes.
We did get a couple comments in our Discord as well. If you want to join the nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. Driving D Van says, I watched Idiocracy once because everyone said it was amazing, but it just did not hit with me. I'd be willing to give it another shot one day, though. And then
I could see that because it does have a specific, I don't know, tone to it. It's just not like it's a slower movie too. There's not like not hitting you with Dumb and Dumber jokes all the time.
It's crazy.
I don't agree with that, but
this movie came out.
Get into it.
This movie came out in 2005 or 6 or whatever, and I'm seeing it for the first time in 2023. So that's just interesting alone. I think just kind of like the character in the movie, like dude was frozen in time. I'm seeing this movie years later.
And then this has already been said, but I just wanted to bring it up again because it's worth bringing up. Tejas in our Discord said, not so much a question, but notice the joke about Crocs from back then and the reality of how they became huge. Apparently the budget was so low, they made everyone wear Crocs, and the joke was everyone was so dumb and that they all wore these plastic slippers. And now today,
I have a pair of them sitting like 3 feet away from me. They are comfy as shit, and
I don't own a pair of Crocs yet. Yet is the key word.
Who wrote this? This was Mike Judge.
Tejas. Oh, Mike Judge, yes.
Yeah, there's a clip of him being interviewed on the Joe Rogan show, and they're talking about the movie, and they talk about Crocs a lot in the bit, or not a bit, but in the interview. I highly recommend people see that clip of him on Joe Rogan's podcast because they talk about a lot about the Crocs, and yes, it's a real thing. That story behind it.
And Crocs were brand new back then. Nobody even knew about them.
They were a startup, they were saying. And they're like,
Yeah,
they're like,
just
these
coming
will
out.
not go anywhere. These are ridiculous. Let's get them because they're so
These
stupid.
look so
and they,
stupid.
and they were
Yeah,
cheap.
let's put them on.
It was just a budget thing.
These dummies.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's funny.
I mean, they spent all that special effects on the giant garbage landslide of 2505.
Beautiful, beautiful CG effects.
Nice. All right. Well, that's what we're going to be chatting about in a minute. If anybody at home would like to play along with us, next week we're going to be going into Star Wars video game history, talking about what has come out before, what is out now, and kind of the landscape of in varying levels of quality, I would say, of the Star Wars games.
There's a lot to talk about there.
There's a lot.
There's so many games. So many
games. Yeah.
So it's interesting to talk about and see where they've come from and what goes into them nowadays, which is kind of insane too. So, and then after that, giving ourselves, a little bit of time, we're going to be talking about Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game that is apparently the greatest game to ever be created. If we're going by the review scores that are coming out.
Oh my god!
It's only given us.
It hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, at the time of recording, technically we're not able to play it yet, but in a couple of hours we will be able to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably be trying to play that every single day up until we record.
Oh yeah,
I want to get as much in as I can. But
for sure, Brandon is just we're gonna be tying his arm behind his back and putting a switch in his face.
You guys are just gonna have to deal with me. I'm going to do it, but you guys are gonna have to deal with me. I'm a bro gamer. We know this about me. This is.
I hope this one changes your mind.
It's gonna be probably better. I mean,
that's everything that I've heard. So
coming from the old one and building off of it, you got a solid foundation to work with.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm excited about. It is. I see this opportunity to really cram in a lot more. Not that it was barren, but still.
Nice. All right,
I hope I like it.
Me too.
I hope you do too.
All right. Well, that's what we got on the schedule. Why don't we take a quick little siesta right here?
Let's
take a break. Let's get some Brondo in here.
Stop talking. Just leave.
This episode is brought to you by Carl.
Why are you still talking? Just leave.
Just get off.
Gosh, stop. Just get out of here.
All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Aquí con mis compas quemando leños. El tiempo es de realizar mis sueños. Esto esperado desde muy pequeño. Por nada en el mundo yo cambio esto, aunque el proceso ha sido lento. Los que no esperaban esto, lo siento, y el dedo les aviento. Nuevo estilo con nuevo modo. Pongan atención, esto no es todo. Soy pariente del recodo. Diario en las calles hacemos bolo. Esto es para toda mi gente. Llego a tu pueblo de repente. Cítrico, cínico, el nuevo gerente. Más grueso que las cejas de Chente.
And we're back or whatever, I guess. Let's talk about this movie.
Just talk like that the whole time, please.
Yeah, I don't know. People in the future just talk so dumb. It's so funny. Talking about Idiocracy, and is this the first time both of you guys have seen it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
Never seen this boy before.
I'd seen this a while back because I just heard it was, stupid and hilarious.
This is a Dave movie. It's like
Dave-ass Dave
humor.
movie.
It's dude. I can see why you liked it and why
it's
you recommended it.
It's a little vulgar. Some of the stuff that they say is not acceptable these days. To
it's
say.
a product of its time.
I think it's a product of its time, which is
it's a product of the future.
Exactly, and I think I mean, we know those people that talk like that. Fucking idiots talk like that. It makes total sense. I don't know. I get it. So Dave, I'll just make it quick. I think this is a great comedy.
Yeah.
I rented it. I wish I bought it. People have been telling me since it came out, Brandon, how have you not seen this movie? How have you not seen this movie? I'll make a comment. People will say, you should see this movie. It's been recommended so many times. So I thought it was great. It's a good comedy. Definitely. For sure. That's my take on it. Eric, I feel like you're going to... This was great about, I guess, the way we approach these movies, but how you feeling about this? What do you think of it?
I like dumb comedies as much as the next guy, but I'm a little more lukewarm on it than you guys are. Only because I will say, like, I liked there were some things I liked about this movie. I liked the premise. Mm-hmm. I thought the premise was funny. I liked the beginning. I liked how it started a little bit more than how it ended up.
I agree. It runs a little long. Not long, but the pace is weird.
I liked that it was 80 minutes.
Yes, that was good.
It was short. But yeah, I just kind of felt like they got their point across within the first 10 minutes, and the joke didn't really evolve from there at all.
No, it kind of is. It is kind of like dunking on dumb people for a while. That the intro of the movie, I think, is really the best part. So just kind of
if somebody hasn't seen this movie,
I was just gonna sum it up for you. So essentially, the movie follows a U.S. Army pilot who is frozen and wakes up 500 years in the future, and essentially,
who's Luke Wilson?
Wait, he was a pilot? I thought he was just a librarian.
Oh, plot follows. Sorry, I can't read. I must be an idiot.
You're from this future.
I can't read. I can't read. But essentially,
he's just a lazy guy in the military.
He's an average Joe,
and he has no parents. He has
the most average person possible.
Exactly. I like that. He was like on the bell curves. He's just right in the middle of every chart. It's true. He's like average.
What that military guy was great. The guy that was running
Collins.
It was great. He was definitely my favorite.
They're only supposed to
get this to me?
Frozen for a year, and then they get frozen for 500 instead, which is kind of hilarious too. But
explain to me what happened with Collins. Like, was this experiment like legit to begin with, but then he met Upgrade and he fell into the
pimp life. He fell into the pimp life, and then he got busted.
Yeah, one of the early jokes is that the guy who's doing the experiment, what is he, like a sergeant or something like that?
Yeah, and what they really want to do is freeze super soldiers and wake them up later so they can have their soldiers at any time they want. Really.
But his presentation is hilarious because he's talking about
part is probably the funniest part of the movie.
It is really good, and he's like, I got Luke Wilson, and this guy is like average as hell, and for a year we'll just freeze him to test it out. Like nobody's not a big deal, right? But we needed to get somebody else, so I had to go to the private sector. And he just says, I met this guy. What was his name? The pimp's name?
Upgrade.
With a Y and two D's at the end. Loaned me
one of his women or something like that. And she's going to be tested as well. But then he goes into, which is my quote, because he talks about he fell in love with the lifestyle, and he was going to go into a whole presentation before how the research was how the experiment was going to work. What I love the gag. It's a good gag where
that was the
they're
best.
They're come on, hurry up, Collins, and he's like, oh, okay, all right, let me skip to the experiment then, and he starts skipping through the slides, and it's just him with the pimp and
he's just drinking and hanging out with all the pimps,
and it's 30 slides he has to go through in the movie.
It's great. That bit was very good. And he was like, oh, this one, and they're like, come on, Jesus Christ, Collins, come on. That was good. That got me. I was chuckling a lot in the beginning of this movie, for sure.
In finding a female researcher's dream within our ranks, and we're forced to look into the private sector. This is Rita. Like Joe, she has no immediate family. Rita agreed to participate in this experiment in exchange for dropping of certain criminal charges and a small fee. We did, however, have to come to an arrangement with her pimp, a gentleman who goes by the name Upgrade, which he spells thusly, with 2 D's, as he says, for a double dose of this pimping. Upgrade agreed to loan us Rita for exactly 1 year and keep quiet on the matter in exchange for certain leeways with the local authorities in running his pimp game. First, however, there was the difficult challenge of gaining his trust.
Collins, can we skip to the technicals, please?
Sure. Let me just finish here. You see, a pimp's love is very different from that of a square.
Collins!
Fine. We'll move on. It is a fascinating world, though.
Jesus, Collins?
So yeah, they get Maya Rudolph is the prostitute that they get from Upgrade, which I'm assuming this is pre SNL days. I'm guessing. I don't know if this was
Probably. Yeah.
So, her and I was gonna say Luke. I was gonna say Owen Wilson, but Luke Wilson. They get frozen. Collins gets busted by the feds for running an underground pimp ring or something like that.
Yeah, he gets
essentially
caught up
they
on
just
lifestyle.
like they just tear down the base and they throw the things in the garbage, and then we don't hear from anything. I mean, they get the best explanation for the movie is that little documentary intro they do in the beginning where they're talking to like the smart couple, essentially, where they're like, you know, we're going to hold off on kids for a little bit till we do this and get our doctorate. We wouldn't want to have a kid in this economy. And then they cut to like the hillbillies living in a trailer.
They're not like, thinking about it at all.
Oh shit, I'm pregnant again.
Right.
Yep.
It keeps going and going. And they show how the family trees evolve. And then they essentially just pad this out over 500 years where the entire population of the country, all the smart people, kids don't have kids. All the dumb people have kids. You wake up in 500 years, everybody's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
Hilarity ensues, indeed.
So think about what people would say. What would happen to some of the companies that we have today?
How language
like, one of the gags they show,
how...
when they show the... I made a note of this because, you know, it's been 20 years almost since this movie came out, but... when Luke Wilson and what's the actress name?
Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, they're frozen in their sleep chambers. There was a Fuddruckers that was built over it, and then you see it evolve across all these different names, and then eventually lands on Buttfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So the kids are like having their birthday parties in there and stuff. That was pretty funny.
500 years is a long ass time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just crazy how things changed. And, you know, so I thought like, all right, that was another good gag. There are so many gags in this movie. But the companies, the restaurants, they like Carl's Jr. is also, I don't even know like what.
Well, everything is just a mega
restaurants?
corporation.
Is that what
They're
it
just
is?
all mega corporations.
Yeah, they can arrest you. They can arrest you.
Exactly.
Like the one woman was trying to order food and she didn't get her fries, so she started bitching at it. And they're like, "You gotta, like, you abandon your kids. We should arrest you for being."
They
a bad
arrest
parent.
her, and then the Hardee's cops come. And like they said that Hardee's is adopting their children and taking over custody of the lady's children.
Yeah, it goes Carl
Carl's
Jr. Fuck you.
That's the joke too. Like the corporations have grown so big that they've just bought everything. Like even the police, like the police officers have like the Hardee's tattoo on their neck.
Right.
And like Brondo is like the Gatorade thing where they end up making so much money that they buy the FDA and then they buy the FDA and then the like, I don't know, free speech. I forget what the other company or government agency that they bought out. So they can essentially just make anything that they want and say anything that they want, which is even more hilarious because kind of where it's going. But it's that weird corporate future of, you know, being advertised to constantly. Everybody's shirts have like advertisements on them. We meet Dax Shepard, who plays Frito, which people are named after like name brands too.
I thought that was pretty good. Hilarious. I know. I thought that was pretty good.
But he's watching TV, and around his TV, there's like 15 different ads like all over. And it just reminds me of like websites now. Like, scrolling through just like, Comic Vine or like any sort of like, clickbaity site. There's just, you're just assaulted with ads constantly. And it's exactly like it is now, which wasn't back in 2005 when the internet was brand new and young and still had some life to it. But they, they predict a lot of how dumb we are these days, which is, I don't know. It's funny and it's scary and it's also, it's got a lot of parallels to today.
I do think, dude, like, I look at our society and like, I'm optimistic, but I do see what people are doing in their free time. Like, I'm not a fan of the content I see on TikTok Live. Like, that's what you're doing with your life. That's what you're doing. Laying on a couch and
it's
letting people make
anything to go
out
viral.
My balls.
Anything, people
get those views. Yeah, that's true. Out my balls, dude.
Out my balls is essentially like Wipeout or like any of those.
Dude, have you seen that guy? What's his name? I forgot. But he's like a little dude. He makes like wrestling videos in his backyard, and he basically just hurts himself.
Yeah.
I forgot what his
Fucking
name is, but
hello, juggalos and juggalettes.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
He like does front flips onto like barbed wire and shit, and like
it's all for
purposely.
show, but...
Yeah, but he's purposely hurting himself to fucking get views, and it is like ow my balls.
Essentially.
Yeah, dude.
Ow my balls is a great show.
So I look at that and I just like, I see people having success in some capacity doing that. And I think about how there's like thousands, maybe millions across the world, but of a lot of people doing this with their life. Like, it is a miracle to be alive. And I'm not a religious person, but I'm just like, do something with your life. We can't find it anywhere else in this universe. And it's either a religious thing or it's a science thing. I don't know, but like everybody's pointing that like it is a miracle that we're alive. And I just look at what people do with their lives. And then this movie is just like, oh my God, like, could we evolve to some version of that? Or like WALL-E, how they're like in that ship and they just are just all obese and they can't even walk.
Yes.
They rely on technology to do everything. Yeah. Dave, you shared a picture of like the coast of
Guatemala.
Guatemala, yeah.
Dude, did you know that there's a giant island of garbage out in the middle of the Pacific or something like that?
Yeah.
And it has its own
ridiculous.
It has its own ecosystem now,
which is horribly frightening. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, so it's out of control, and like, what are we doing? And people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And this movie to me really hits me because it says like the F word a lot and retarded this and everything like that. But like, I still think there's a message that this movie's saying, and I like it.
I get the message. I like I said, I get the message. It is poignant. They're making a lot of poignant points about our society and where we're headed. But I think they got it across in like the first 5 minutes. Of
Office Space was the same way though. Like the first half hour is the best part of that movie, and it's like it's pretty good for the rest of it, but. You still get
the chuckles throughout though. Like they keep stepping up the stupidity in different ways. Where like they go to Fox News later in the show, and it's just like this bodybuilder dude with no shirt giving the news, and then the lady next to him just has these giant tits that are just like hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's just like like what the fuck, like, and this is shit that I could see happening, like. Seeing this movie before Trump was president and seeing it after Trump was president kind of like gives you a different outlook too, because it's got a little bit of like that WWE showmanship.
That was the other favorite part of my movie is Terry Crews as the fucking president. So good.
So good.
He is so good. He's like doing gospel or he's like yelling at people and then he starts singing.
I love Terry Crews.
He is the man, dude.
He's
a scene stealer.
Young Terry Crews too.
Yeah,
Yeah. This was kind of from before he blew up. Really,
he's got that long hair. I've never seen Terry Crews with that. And he's wearing American vests and he's shooting assault rifles while he's giving
constantly
presidential speeches, and people in the crowds are shooting assault rifles into the air. Like,
that is. I mean. That shit's not too far off from Trump's presidency, like you said.
Yeah.
And even people like gun control now and gun control that like it's kind of scary. But...
Shut up! Sit your monkey ass down. Chill out. Shit. I know shit's bad right now with all that starving bullshit and the dust storms and we running out of French fries and burrito coverings.
Yeah.
But I got a solution.
That's what you said last time, dipshit. I got a solution. You're a dick. South Carolina, what's up?
Did you catch the one about the cops showing up and it was Frito's car?
Yeah.
And they just showed up and just shoot the fuck out of it. I'm like, what are you fucking doing, cops? You know, there's
well, they're all so dumb. It's like, it's like everyone's distracted by the explosion, and then it starts like a riot. Everybody starts punching each other, like they just get hyped up from all the shit going on, and they just completely forget about chasing them. But
did you guys watch this with subtitles
like
on?
Mob mentality.
You said
I did.
You did.
Okay.
So I usually do, but
because
I wasn't planning on it, but because you made a comment, I'm like,
there are so many jokes that are tucked away in the subtitles where if you just hear it, it sounds like they're saying the right word, but like you see how like wrong the English language is spoken in this.
Right.
Because I forget some of like experience and like some of the words.
The economy.
Escape. Thank you.
You got to fix the economy.
Yeah, economy. Yep, economy. Everybody struggles to say like 3-syllable words. It's pretty good. Everybody sounds like they're drunk. You know,
basically.
I mean,
it's just like, what are you?
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, again, the speech thing is, I feel like, pretty spot on to how some people talk. Like, it's like people don't have time to enunciate their words anymore or say full words. Like all the like slang, TikTok slang and shit these days are like, you know, you got to talk so fast or you got to talk so slow you can't even say the full word. Like it's, I don't know.
And I mean, they rip on him. They rip on him the entire movie for him talking the way he does. They're saying that he sounds like a sissy and other things, but
yeah, they always look at everybody's like opinion. Oh, you catch this guy,
right?
You know, it's always everybody's reaction. Once like the main character Joe,
it's that mob mentality with, you know, everybody. That's how the society is run. Like the favor of the crowd is kind of what flies. We saw it with like the court scene and everything when they were sentencing him.
Well, that's kind of like it's like how things are. It reminds me of like if justice was served on Twitter. Like,
oh, exactly.
Just the mob mentality, and people just want to hear like whoever's got the funniest quip or the dumbest thing to say,
and they want to see someone get shit canned for it, you know.
Yes, dude, yes, and that's how we are today.
Even if they're innocent, they want to see someone take the fall for something.
But people love that now about celebrities. Ooh, what's wrong with this celebrity? What's their secret? Right. What's their skeleton? Fucking like cancel them. You know, we're so extreme about everything, and like imagine 500 years from now with a bunch of idiots, you know, like I don't know, this movie is creepily accurate, I think, but it's not 500 years, like 50 years from now, you know,
right?
Like just imagine everything gets exacerbated, you know, the more generations that keep going.
We'll be lucky if we're here in 500 years.
Yeah,
the way things are going.
One of my favorite gags in the movie, and it's not even that good, but I thought it was pretty good, is they're in the assessment that Joe has to take. So he's being incarcerated, going through the system, being arrested for not having a tattoo or whatever, and something else, I don't know, like
it's a tattoo.
There's something else too that
he skipped out on his doctor bill because he didn't have
the hospital bill.
Just everything's automated, so they don't have to think. So and it's just stupid. There's no logic behind this stuff, but
Sorry, that was another gag that I did enjoy with the like receptionist at the hospital. Like when Joe, is Joe his name?
Yeah, Joe,
the main character. He was telling everything that was, you know, he was telling her everything that was wrong, and her face was just like, and she's scanning her fingers over the button.
Everything,
didn't know which one to press.
Everything is like a restroom
That's like
icon.
fast food restaurants, though. Like if you ask somebody for it, they're like, oh, all right. I mean, no offense. Right. I'm just saying that, like, it's like.
Point to the big old picture of this, the headache.
And she was having a hard time with that. That was pretty good. But anyways, when he's doing his assessment, he's like sat down and there's all these people watching him, and he's just got to take like basic shapes and put them through the hole, right? And he looks to his left,
like a baby.
He sees a guy, he can't get it through. And he's like, all right, and then he looks to the right, and
square peg.
I love this joke. This guy like covers it, like, don't look what I'm up to. I don't know, that joke I loved. It was like one of my favorite jokes in the movie. I was like, it's so stupid, but the movie is just full of these jokes. I don't know.
And they're quick. Like a lot of them are visual gags, or they're really quick, because some of them are like seeing like a sign on a store, or seeing like the hospital that they go to. They have the sign on the hospital, but they ran out of space, so the letters have to go down.
Because they don't have engineers like thinking about. Yeah, dude, that was great.
There are like tons of those like quick visual ones that if you don't pay attention to, you'll miss, which is great. What else do we got in here?
So I think Dax Shepard did a great job in the role. I didn't really know. I've not really seen anything he's been in. I just know of him, but like, I've seen clips of him and like, I haven't seen that funny. But I thought he was really good. I like the character he was. Such an idiot. He's like a lawyer, and he got his degree at Costco.
And Costco is like this. Is like a huge, it's like a city almost.
It's like 100 square mile.
Did you see how things are stacked up on? Oh, dude, I was just like, people are gonna die.
There was at a certain point there was an airplane that crashed into the Costco that they just never cleaned up, and they just left a crashed airplane.
There's just an open hole in the ceiling.
They just left it there.
Fine.
Because nobody knows how to fix it. But I mean, at this point,
no maintenance being done.
At this point, like you're thinking, like, I mean, in the future, it would never get to this point, because you wouldn't be able to, like, the dumb people wouldn't be able to survive long enough. Everything would have collapsed by then. Which is
not an accurate movie. Yeah, you gotta suspend your for sure, because like unless computers are so good that they figured out in previous generations that the future generations didn't have to think, because computers did everything, and it seemed like there was.
Dude, it's like fucking Wall-E, like you were saying. The robots do everything for them. On the ship, like
that's where we're going now.
They don't have to get out of their chair.
AI is replacing all of our jobs in 5 years.
Right, AI.
So
exactly.
Used to just hovering around in your pods and changing the color of your shirt every 2 minutes.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked Frito. I thought he was funny. He's like the lawyer, and he's just like supposed to be representing Joe, and he's just like a complete. I'm sorry. Not sure. Is that his name?
Not sure. Yeah.
Not sure.
Supposed to be representing Not Sure, and he's just like, oh, he's a jerk. He just like goes in.
He crashed through my window.
When he's a lawyer and he starts attacking the guy, like his own client or whatever, and then trying to prove that he's an asshole.
You're my lawyer?
Says here you robbed a hospital. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, I'm not guilty.
That's not what the other lawyer said.
I mean, listen, you gotta get me on the stand, okay? I can explain everything. We can take him to your house. We'll show him the pod that I came here.
Shut up! Nah. Prosecute him. Why you think you done it?
Okay, number one, Your Honor. Just look at him.
He talks like a fag, too.
And B, we've got all this, like, evidence of how, like, this guy didn't even pay at the hospital. And I heard that he doesn't even have his tattoo. I know, and I'm all, you gotta be shitting me. But check this out, man. Judge should be like, guilty. Peace.
Objection!
What are you objectifying on?
Come on, just get me on the stand.
Okay. Your Honor, I object that this guy also broke my apartment to shit. Yeah. What? And you know what else? I object that he's not gonna have any money to pay me after he pays back all the money he stole from the hospital.
Don't say I stole. You're my lawyer.
And I object that he interrupted me while I was watching Oh My Balls! That is not okay! I rest my case!
Your Honor, I'm pretty sure we have a mistrial.
Some of those
here,
ones
sir.
are great. It's like it's not laugh out loud chuckles sometimes. Like it's more of like satire-y, like chuckles to yourself at certain things. But I thought Maya Rudolph was great in this movie. She plays the prostitute. She's got like this city accent to her. I mean, she's not. I think she is one of the main characters, but she's not in a ton of it. But she's lying to Joe the entire movie that she was a painter, and they're always, he's being.
He assumed that of her. She never said that, did she?
Yeah, she said that before
she just agreed
into the
to
tank.
it.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm a painter, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean,
certain type of artist.
It was weird seeing her talk like that because she's black. She black?
Mm.
She's like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, mixed. Race.
Yeah, okay. Because I did not expect her to act the way she did. I was just like, damn. Like, why they just? I don't know. I don't know. It was an interesting. Like, she was fine in the role, but I knew she was acting, which is the whole point of an actor. But I was like, why didn't they just?
I know what you mean.
Like,
yeah.
I could find other actresses who are black who talk. I'm trying to be careful the way with this movie. I shouldn't.
Well,
still.
I think what you're trying to say is Maya Rudolph does not normally play that type of character
or talk like that
in her roles or talk.
She
like
laid
that.
on the black accent, I guess, and I just wasn't expecting it. So I was just like, that was weird. Like, casting wise, like
you kind of gotta have that though, because you're taking a prostitute from now and putting them into the future, and in the future the prostitute is like, she may be dumb now, but she's still in the future way smarter than everybody else at the same time.
I think I don't know. I wasn't really impressed with the character though. Maybe it's like typical. Like, she's cute in this movie. Like, I think it's just like a typical like female sidekick in the movie, but not much of it. Like, there's no character arc to her.
She didn't move the story forward at all. No,
she becomes a mom.
She's part of a
character arc, and she moves it forward by saving Joe at the end of the movie. Yeah, it is.
Joe has a proper arc, but I think she could have. They just didn't bother. I don't know. So she's just there when they need to make a joke about her, but she did not have to need to be there the whole movie. Like, I don't know. So I felt.
I did not know this about her. Her mother was African American. Her father is Jewish. Her paternal grandfather, a philanthropist, once owned all of the Wendy's and Rudy's restaurants in Miami-Dade County, Florida.
Okay.
The fun fact about Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, shit. But yeah, I liked her in here. She was fine. I
agree. She could, at the end, she just kind of, her and Joe got together. They had some kids, and that was about it.
Well, Joe's not gonna. Oh, they like, I don't know. They get together and they kind of like. They both know that they're the smartest people now, but like when they're talking about like Joe's trying to find her when he becomes the Secretary of Interior or whatever, and all the dumb people are like, why do you want to see her? And then they make the having sex. Oh, like, it's the only thing that they understand is like plants like electrolytes and people like to have sex. And it's like,
right. Why would you want to talk to a woman other than to have sex with her?
Basically.
Yeah.
Which, the cabinet people, they make me chuckle because who is it? Is that Horatio that was in there? David Herman was one of them.
Yeah.
There was a couple other ones, but yeah, the cabinet was pretty funny too.
It has what plants crave.
That gag that they were doing when he's trying to just talk him into just using water.
Do you even know what electrolytes are?
Yeah, they're what plants crave.
But what do plants crave? Electrolytes.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look. The plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Yeah, and at least there's like 3 or 4 people that say like, but that's what plants crave, like over and over. You can hear how they've been like brainwashed by like corporate taglines and slogans and all that kind of stuff, which is great.
I mean, that's another parallel to today, doing like ads for videos and stuff, like name dropping shit all the time, because he was like, every time I say this I get paid.
Carl's Jr. brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Right, exactly.
And he's just having a normal conversation with somebody.
Like, you see that shit all the time in YouTube videos, so there are definitely some poignant observations in this movie.
It's good to have movies to make commentary on how ridiculous we are. I think you see this with TV shows like South Park, but it's always good to see a movie, kind of do this as well. They're rare, but I think this movie is just special because it got the future kind of right. At least it knew the trajectory of technology in the early 2000s, and he did a good job. Like, Mike Judge is a smart guy, He did Office Space, and people got fucking bored of corporate life, and they sort of like, let's have like coffee shops in the middle of your floor at corporate America, and they're trying to do all these hip things, because they know that people get like go crazy and like with printers and all that stuff. Like he gets it. So I don't know if he did a new Beavis and Butthead movie, but has he done
Silicon Valley? That's the
that
is the killer.
Another
for me.
good one.
Like,
dude.
that show
he got
is
that culture
fantastic.
too. Yes,
I gotta watch that show.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I have not.
Dude,
oh my god!
As a developer,
it is the most accurate depiction of developers. The way those developers act on that show are what I experienced as a designer working with you guys, you friggin' developers. Like it,
me,
it just just a little bit.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Because it's all about how protective are they with their code and all that stuff, and he just gets the nuances of
judging people by their code and like there's
dude.
a lot of it.
It's great, and project managers and how they treat everybody and it's great. But anyways, Idiocracy, I think just damn, like the guy he did a good social satire movie. And it sounded like he had a lot of hiccups making this movie. He said it was just a really hard movie to market. And you're kind of calling out a lot of people.
I was just going to say.
You're calling out an entire society.
Yeah.
One question I did have, though, I mean, maybe this doesn't...
People going to see the movie. Yeah, that's what you're calling it.
Maybe this doesn't matter for the context of the movie, but I'm wondering, in this larger world, we're just seeing the United States.
I thought
is the
about
entire
this.
world like this too, or is it just dumb Americans that are like this?
It's probably the whole world, because if the other ones stayed smart or got smarter, they would have just taken over.
Maybe, but they probably just said, "Fuck America." They can do their own thing and burn it to the ground. That's, I don't know.
Dude,
if countries
maybe.
were smart, they would do that. Just leave us alone and let us
destroy ourselves.
Kill ourselves.
It would have been cool to see the president of this future world with like the president of China or prime minister of like it would be great.
They'd be arm wrestling at the table, or wrestling, messing around with each other. Oh, nice. I mean, I don't know how much we really have to dive into like the specific jokes or anything. I know we mentioned Terry Crews earlier. I kind of wanted to bring up his President Camacho, who is actually a main character in this movie as well. Once the second half of the movie, I guess, more or less. Because they do find out
he wanted Joe to die up until he had a freaking flower put in his face. And he's just like, he was right.
he's just
You just use
pandering
water instead of fucking Gatorade.
Pandering to the crowd constantly, essentially. You know.
Yeah, it's just that mob mentality again.
He's got that. He found the smartest man alive from a prison test, and he's gonna solve everything, and he's gonna do it in a week. And like, you know, that's
right.
You know, once the mob turns on him, then you know President Camacho turns on him, and once he finds out that Joe was right, then he's back on his side. So,
yep.
It is kind of hilarious the way it goes. I'm looking at IMDb right now, and I was just laughing about the cabinet people, and the one guy in the cabinet that's I said it was Horatio, but it's Eli Munoz. His character name is just Horny Guy, which makes me chuckle because it's just it's all over.
He was funny.
Justin Long was in here as a doctor. Like
I thought he would be in it more. It must have been early on in his career because he only was.
Yeah.
That was one of the funnier parts when he comes out. Like, because his prognosis
was more associated with him. I was expecting to see him more too.
I know. His prognosis was like, dude, like your shit's fucked up, and like your brain is like fucking weird, and like kind of retarded, and like that's that was his prognosis from like the doctor of the hospital, which it just cracks me up.
Hey, Azang, essay.
Yeah, right. Well, not so good. You know, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm seeing things. I think it might be because of these drugs the Army put me on. But if you could just get me well enough to get back to base.
Right. Kick ass. Well, don't want to sound like a dick or nothing, but it says on your chart that you're fucked up. You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded. What I do is just like you know, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I'm serious here.
don't worry, Scro. Now there are plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives. My first wife was tarded. She's a pilot now.
I need for you to be serious for a second here, okay? I need help.
There's that fag talk we talked about. Right, so that'll be this many dollars. And if you could just go ahead and, like, put your tattoo in that shit.
That's weird. This thing has the same misprint as that magazine. What are the odds?
Where's your tattoo? Tattoo? Why don't you have this?
It's one that, you know, I think this movie is not one that you're gonna watch over and over. It's one that you probably put on like every 20-ish years to refresh yourself.
I was gonna say, let's watch it in another 20 years and see where we're at with society.
To see how dumb we are, and to see it's a good look into the mirror, because I mean, America as we are, we kind of cater to the lowest common denominator. We cater to the dumbest people. We have rules and regulations because we have a lot of dumb people in this country. So it's just kind of like expanding that out into the future. So I think it's a fun one to watch. It's not a rewatcher constantly, like, you know, like a Lord of the Rings.
I think there's a lot of quotes in this movie. There's a lot of fun things that they say in this movie.
Yeah,
a lot of fun things that they say.
You know,
one way to
I don't
put
know.
it.
It's just funny. I don't know. It's a ride. You know, it's I think I don't know. I didn't expect that I'd like it as much as I did, but I think it's a good comedy. But I'm glad I saw it now. I think that's probably why I like it, because I think if I saw it back then, I'd be like, I don't get a lot of this. You know, I don't like the words they're using, all that stuff. But going to the future, now here we are in 2023, and like seeing it, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Like people should not be acting like that at all, you know. And like even in looking at like America, even as like a man, like just like, you know, the conversation of like how we talk to each other is really like top of mind nowadays, and people are trying to see how they identify themselves, and you have people on both sides. And like this future is not like cool with a lot of the
not at all friendly with that. Yeah, any hint of like, you know, effeminate anything in a man is instantly like,
yeah. So, but people are like that, sadly, here now, and it's very superficial, and like this movie is just saying like, man, everybody just got so superficial in the future, so shallow, so stupid. Like, they don't even bother trying to learn, and they make fun of anybody that sounds smart. You know, they're called gay or whatever, and it's just like back in the 90s, like that was what guys, straight men, would say to each other. They would call each other gay. Like why are you being gay and all that stuff, and like. But imagine if it just was never like. I think it's been course corrected. I think yeah, you shouldn't be saying that to somebody, especially as an adult. But in this future, they just never grew out of it, and they're just got like dumb people breeding with each other, ignorant people saying ignorant shit, and now you have people just calling each other like names in the future all the time, and it's just God, I hope we don't end up like that.
No,
I
there's
really
something
don't.
that good, something good that came out of the woke wave is that treat everybody with respect, and
including us
be inclusive.
White men. You know, we were guilty of a lot of the shenanigans in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I don't know. This movie is a thinker, though, Dave. Like, I think it is a thinking man's comedy, honestly. It's dumb. That's what's genius about it. It's dumb to watch, but there's some pretty smart humor in here. It's fucking satire, and he pulled it off. And who would have thought that Donald Trump would have been president, and we would be like looking at this, like, yes, Donald Trump isn't this extreme, but still, the extremists of Trump are. I
mean,
kind of.
Donald Trump did bring
not too far off.
He had McDonald's cater like presidential meals with like other people coming into the White House. You had Melania Trump like sponsoring Goya beans in like the fucking in the White House and tweeting out like sponsorships with corporations. So it's not that fucking far off, which is. I don't know. It's scary and it's hilarious at the same time. Looking at it from.
This movie had no kids in it.
That's true. None, really.
I didn't even notice that.
Just
there's kids in it.
No. There's a mention of a kid but there's not actually a kid. Because when that lady in the beginning was punching the Carl's Jr.
Yeah, and they
said they were gonna take her kids away.
They have kids later.
The unfit mother.
Stuff like that.
The kids at the very end of the movie,
right?
But other than that, like they're just not in this world. Like, are they dying because their parents are too
negligent?
I mean, they had kids like in the opening act too, but like it just in the meat of the movie, no kids.
I mean, I'm not convinced that any of the people we saw in this future could take care of a child in any.
I mean, they could have been
whatsoever.
Kids in the scenes. I just don't remember seeing any.
Although it's probably something in the in this future.
Oh wait, no, there was one. One of the chairmen on the board, one of the secretaries or whatever he was, that kid.
He was like
adolescent.
12.
He was
16, 12.
Yeah.
Something okay.
I'm just thinking like babies and stuff in this future. They probably have like farms where the robots just take care of the babies until they're like
able to
10
walk
years old or something.
And who takes care of the robots?
Nobody.
No. I'm looking at
themselves. Other robots. It's a never-ending chain of robots taking.
It is scary.
Maintaining the other ones.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
This makes me want to watch WALL-E.
Yeah.
Dude, WALL-E. I fucking love WALL-E.
It's a great.
One of my favorite Pixar movies.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
I'm looking at an article on Insider right now, and they're showing like a sign from a Walmart that's like COVID-19 testing site, and then there's giant Pepsi bottles on like the ad, like on the banner to tell you where the COVID testing site is. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Like it's close. We're getting close. So
they have like a weird Pepsi logo behind the president in those scenes. Like Pepsi sponsored the White. Yeah. Dude, the Oval Office has a fucking hole busted out into it, and they have like that's where they were hanging out.
Yeah,
like
what happened to the White House? It just got fucked up.
Well, it's like nobody knows how to fix anything.
Someone's not taking care of it.
You couldn't fit a table in a room, so we'll just fucking tear down this wall, and then we'll fit the table in the room. You got to think like an idiot to get it
right,
but. It's got like a mixed Metascore. It's like a 66 on Metacritic. It's got a user score like 7.5. So, like, I can see how the comedy isn't. Everybody's saying it's a little vulgar. It's a little dunking on dumb people now, but it is a good. You got to have that. You know, you got to know what you're getting into. That satire on, you know, where we're going and where we're heading and where we're at, which is also scary. But
yeah, I like the I like the fight at the end. So Joe's arrested again because they're all like half the country's upset because he turned off Gatorade, whatever it was, Brondo, yeah, and he started using water to water the crops, and all these people got upset. So, anyways, he's arrested, and he's put through. Was it like retribution or it's basic
rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation, is that what it was?
Yeah,
which is basically a death sentence.
Which is like,
you totally don't have a chance at all. And they chained him to literally a boulder, like a rock. So he can't escape at all. And he's pitted up against those giant like vehicles with spikes or whatever. Like very, very dangerous looking.
They look like dicks, let's be honest. There were giant dicks.
Yeah.
There were giant dicks coming out of
with
the
metal. Metal.
And then they had like a big...
one's a dildosaur or something, some stupid name.
They had the big floppy purple dick on his car.
But I loved when like the one guy shows up. He's like in the biggest vehicle and he's trying to get through the entranceway. His vehicle is so big that he just keeps everything collapses on him and destroys it. But the announcers were like trying to talk about it. He doesn't know how to talk about it. Everybody's just like, what do we fucking do? Like, idiot. And then I don't know, but he crashed. There's like an awkward silence when across the audience.
Shit. I think it was too big, huh? We seem to be experimenting some technological differences. So,
then Terry Crews starts it back up. Let's go.
Well, he starts like, he's just like fuck him, whatever. And
yeah,
I don't know, but I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good gag. I thought it was pretty funny.
There's lots of them throughout, but we don't have to go through everything. Is there anything else you guys wanted to get into? We don't have to talk about music because there wasn't. I don't really think I even really noticed the music. Yeah, I don't know if I caught anything in there.
Did you guys catch the post-credit scene?
I did, yeah.
No, I didn't. Please.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing in the early 2000s, but
I always, now that Marvel has like set this precedent for post-credit scene, no matter what the movie is, I always skip to the end after the credits to make sure there's not something there. But yeah, this one there actually was.
It was pretty good.
Wait, let me know. Yeah, let me know. What is it?
It basically
there was a third time.
There was a third pod, and Upgrade comes out of the pod, and he just gets out, dusts himself off, and then he's just like, I'm gonna get this bitch, or I'm gonna find this bitch.
Yep.
And then he just walks away.
Oh my god, Upgrade. I forget why he had two D's at the end of his name, because you get a double dose or something like that.
Double dose of pimping or something like that. Yeah. So
yeah. It is so dumb.
I forgot about the after credits.
Upgrade.
So that joke panned out for sure. And that was cool that was at the end of the credits. I was like, oh wow, there is actually something here. So sweet.
She was always saying like, he's gonna come for me. He'll find a way to come and get me. And then here comes Upgrade. Oh, that's good. I'm glad they followed up on that.
I thought the time machine was predictable as hell.
Yeah.
I thought that joke could have been better.
Right. There's no way it's an actual time machine.
Yeah, it's just like a Disney ride.
Yeah.
Basically to see like the history of people, like they un-Nazi the world or something like that. They call the UN.
What was it? It was Charlie Chaplin led the Nazis.
Yeah, right. Because it could have gone off his mustache.
Yeah,
must be the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of those little ones.
Yeah. And then the ending I thought was fine.
Yeah.
Kind of. They couldn't go back in time. Whatever. Turned out that like the time machine was not real, and they decided they wanted to stay anyways. And
they made the best of this new future, this new society. They tried to improve it.
The question is, would you guys have done this? Stayed in the future? Would you have done that?
Well, if there was an option to go back,
Yeah.
fuck no, I'm going back.
No, it sounds like hell. There's hell there.
No. You're not. No wife, no kids, no family. You're like Joe, like or whatever.
Why would I want to stay in this future?
I mean, you could party.
You're the smartest person, and
dumbasses.
you're the president of the world, basically.
I don't want that pressure. I don't need that. I'm going now.
You'd be a
going back to
god.
my old life.
That sounds.
I don't
sounds
want that.
Nice, but
I would probably stay.
You think so?
I would. How could I not? I would just go around. They would treat me like Jesus Christ or something, dude. I would just be like, "Did you know?"
Well,
you did...
Brandon has a god complex. Now we know.
Oh, dude. I don't know. Yes, you could ask for anything you want in that world, they would do it. Or maybe not. Maybe you have to talk to the robots, but
start shooting the trash into the sun. That'll fix it.
Yeah, do you have the technology for that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you figure out how to build a rocket, Brandon, and send all the trash into the sun?
Build a giant slingshot, of course. And then you just fling it into the sky and send it out to the sun. Yeah, maybe
you have to think that there's got to be like Buddhist monks way out in the mountains that are like retain their intelligence, that are like, we don't want anything to do with the rest of the human race. We have our own little village and we're good. We're with harmony with like nature. You're all stupid, you know? Probably hang out with them, get some wisdom from them. Like, what do I do with all these dumb people? I decided to stay. And they're just so stupid. They get no safety. They have no anything. It's just like, I'm starting from square one. It's a bunch of babies around, you know? Or they don't. Maybe it's overpopulated and they're all gone. All the natives, all the tribal people are gone. Everything is just like corporate everything, and Coke and Pepsi and Apple run everything. Oh, no Apple.
No,
Microsoft.
Apple's for the lame people.
No smartphones.
Was Apple? I mean, it wasn't really. It was just coming around at when this movie was released, right? When was the first iPhone released?
2007.
Yeah, so
there you go.
They didn't really have. I guess they. I don't know. They didn't have smartphones at the point this movie was made. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you guys watched it
in front of their TVs. I'm not mad that I watched it. I'm not worse or better for it though.
I don't think there's a movie that will make you mad. I think the only movie that's made any of us mad was Dave when he watched Banshees of Inisherin.
Or The Last Jedi.
I mean, you convinced him that it was a good movie.
I mean, no, you didn't convince me that.
No.
Let's be honest.
Not
quite.
It's all right, but
Banshees. No, I think
Banshees was fine. It was just a little. There's no.
That movie was incredible.
No point. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that movie. Nice. So we want to wrap up here, guys. Do we got anything else to touch on here?
Dave, just maybe just kind of you being the one that saw this back in the day, and now seeing it. Like, how do you like it more? Do you like it less? Like it the same?
It's about the same. I forgot a lot of the gags that were in there about the sponsorship and all that stuff. I remembered all the main points of the movie, but catching a lot of those it was just like little dumb jokes that Dax is throwing out there. Leave me alone, I'm baiting. Like, just like how dumb people are.
A hole in his wall, doesn't even care.
He doesn't even turn around. Like somebody crashes through his window. He's too busy watching Ow My Balls.
Get out of here.
But no, I think it's a good one to catch every once in a while. It's nothing that I'm going to throw on continuously like a Lord of the Rings or a Star Wars movie or something that I'm going to watch once a year or something like that. But no, it's a good reminder to raise your kids right and teach your kids not to be, dickheads. Teach them how to read books. Teach them how to do math and stuff. Or else we'll be there eventually. So, no, I still like it. I still think it's not great, but it's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
So, nice. Any other parting shots from you two, nitwits?
No.
All right, sweet.
Nothing for me.
Cool.
Said my piece.
Well, I'm glad you guys saw it and you got your you got your piece. So,
got my piece.
Well, why don't we take a little break here? We'll give you some commercials brought to you by Carl's Jr. And when we come back, we are going to test your intelligence and see how smart the two of you guys are.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Enjoy that.
It's not going to be good.
Yep.
Take an IQ test.
Right after this. And we are back, bros, from the future, to give you guys a quick little IQ test to see, how smart we are in the year 2023. See if you guys will survive in the year 2505, I guess.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
It wasn't bad back then.
It made you feel stupid sometimes, though. Because you're like...
Some of the shit you learn in 5th grade you don't need. It's throwaway knowledge. But
dude, my what is he? He's 8 years old. What is he in 2nd grade? 3rd grade? 3rd grade?
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
So he goes he knows the word dialogue. I'm like, you know the word dialogue? It's like, yeah. It's like, what is it?
Did he want to start a dialogue with you?
When people talk. Oh, I was just like,
Dad, we need to have a dialogue right now about something.
Yeah, I was just like, man, like some stuff sticks, but other stuff is like, yeah, why are they teaching that to us so young?
Surprised. I mean, kids learn a lot from video games too. My kid learned how to read from playing video games. He's like the best reader in his class.
Words at you,
like
yeah, like
just from games.
In American language, when are you gonna learn the word queue? You're not. It's not an American thing. In England, they use queue, as in waiting in line.
Right.
Yeah.
Traffic, it's caught in the queue or whatever. But here, we don't use that. So, but in video games, queue is used. And I was just like, there's words that you're exposed to through video games. And I was just like, huh.
I think I learned about queues from LimeWire. Downloading illegal music.
Okay.
You got all, you click on all the songs.
Stuff.
You got stuff up in the queue and getting, waiting to be downloaded.
Yeah, there's just weird words. Melee.
Right.
I would never use the word melee in my life ever.
It's true.
I thought for the longest time it was like
never been in the melee.
Melee. Because it's 2 E's, and then people are like it's melee, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I've never heard this fucking word ever.
Super Smash Brothers.
Only
Melee.
Melee.
Melee. Unless you're playing D&D and you're in melee combat. But
yes.
All right.
Melee.
Enough about how smart everybody is. Let's see how smart you guys are. I'm going to ask you guys to play together today so you can combine your brain power. We got 3 questions here.
Oh, boy.
We'll see. I mean, you just got to get a passing grade. I'll give you, if you can get 2 out of 3, I'll call you guys winners here today. Are you ready?
I'm going to try to prove how dumb we are.
You might have to think a little bit. It's a little late at night, so I'm trying. Hopefully it's not too bad. So
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
Question number 1. A bat and a ball cost $1.10.
Oh, God.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball.
Oh.
How much does the ball cost?
10 cents.
10 cents, yeah.
The bat and the ball cost $1.10 in total.
Yeah.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball.
Oh,
much
a dollar. Wait.
does
a dollar
the bat
more
cost
than the ball?
a dollar
Yes,
more
a
than the
dollar.
ball?
Okay, we're dumb. Because if
How much does the ball cost?
If the
That's what I
ball
wanna
if the
repeat
ball
this.
was
Don't
10
just jump in
cents,
it.
if the ball was 10 cents, then it would only that doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Say that
A
again.
bat and the ball. A bat and a ball.
Costs $1.10
together.
Together.
Got a bat, got a ball. Together, they are
Yep.
$1.10.
Yep. The bat costs $1 more than the ball.
The bat costs $1 more than the ball.
How much does the ball cost?
How much does the bat cost?
How much? $1 more than the ball.
So it's $1. 1.00.
The bat costs $1 more than
$1 more than the ball.
So that's the hint, Eric. Why can't
Yeah,
I think
because
how
about
much
this?
does the ball cost?
Because the ball, yeah. The bat, okay. See, this
Come
is
on,
too
you're
much
the
thinking.
smart one.
This is too much thinking for right now.
It's like writing a function. You got some variables.
It feels like
you gotta do some
it
math.
feels like a riddle.
A little bit.
It's
a critical thinking exercise, I guess. I don't know. No, it's not critical. It's just thinking exercise.
Right.
9 cents.
What's your logic there?
The bat is $1 more. So $1 is. I lost myself. I don't know.
You lost it. Would you like me to repeat the question one last time?
One last time.
For the listening
Oh, boy.
audience.
Why
I'll
is
read
this
this one nice.
messing with me so much.
Nice and slow for you. A bat and a ball costs $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? I'll just sit back and relax.
A bat and a ball costs
have a
$1.10.
Hmm?
Oh my god, this is
A
ridiculous.
bat and a ball. Hold on a second. A bat and a ball costs $1.
Just keep saying it. Maybe it'll make sense. Yeah, because
A
it
bat
can't
and a
be.
ball costs $1.10.
It can't be 10 cents because
Bat cost
that would mean
is
$1
more than the ball.
That would mean the bat would be $1, but that's only 90 cents more than the ball. So it can't be 10 cents.
All right, and it's the ball's not 10 cents because he's like, think again. You wanna?
No, I just want to make sure you guys aren't rushing into the answer because.
How is it not 10 cents?
Because that would mean the bat is $1. And
so it's 95.
So it's only
so
90
that's-
cents more than the bet would only be 90 cents more than the ball.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's right. Okay.
So just do a little bit of math.
Give him, a little bit more math there.
But then.
So you're on the right track. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep the wheels turning, Eric.
It's 5 cents. Okay.
Right?
Yes. The bat's $1.05
I said
and
95.
the ball's
It should be
5 cents.
$1.05.
The ball's 5 cents. The bat's $1.05. Okay.
Final answer?
Yes.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah, there you go.
If you guessed 10 cents, you're not alone.
It's weird how the way
However,
you said it though, like
it would be $1. It'd be $1.20 if it was 10 cents.
Yes.
Because it's $1 more. So
That was stupid.
5 cents and $1.
Dave's trying to make us look stupid.
You guys got 1 out of 1. I was a little
That's like,
worried there for a second.
yeah,
Brandon said
that's-
9 cents. I was getting a little scared, but you guys worked.
As soon
that
as
one
I
out.
got it, I'm like, wow, I feel stupid.
All
I
right.
went to
well,
college for art, so what's going on? Let's be
you
honest.
still have to take your prereqs. You
Listen,
should've got that.
when I'm programming,
I actually did-
I'm not
I always
working
did
with
pretty good at
bats
math,
and balls,
but-
okay?
Yeah, just do X and Y's, whatever, same thing. All right,
Ugh,
next
God.
question. If it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 widgets,
Come on.
how long would it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets?
Okay. It takes five machines.
5 machines,
5 machines.
5 minutes to make 5 widgets.
Mm-hmm.
5 machines, 5 minutes are making 5 widgets. How long would it take 100 machines to make 100 widgets?
God, this is annoying. I hate this. I didn't want this to be math.
glad
I don't want.
I'm glad I only put. I'm glad I
hate
only
math.
did 3 questions.
Hold on a second.
Just gotta think
How long-
logically. Think
how long
logically.
would it
You
take?
don't even need to do math.
How
for
long
this
would
one.
it take?
100 machines to make 100 widgets.
One minute. 5 minutes.
You're just guessing.
Which one? I had owner of my company had a good saying like about developers, like you can't make nine women make a baby in 1 month. You know?
Oh.
You
right.
gotta...
Right. The process is the time is the time. Like it takes 9 months, no matter what. So okay. All right, hold on. You got 5 machines.
They're taking 5 minutes to make 5 widgets.
And all of them together, because it's not like each of them is a minute. They each take 5 minutes, but together they made 5 widgets. So basically, 5 is a unit. The time, you can't change the time, and the output is 1-to-1. And he says it's 100 machines
are making 100
and it's still
widgets.
1-to-1 where it's 100 things. So how long? The time would stay the same, 5 minutes.
Final answer?
Yes.
I'm going with that because it's too
That
late.
is correct, Brandon.
Yeah!
Good logic there.
I had to see the pattern there. The
Although
1-to-1.
I gave that little hint, kind of gave a lot more.
It's
than
too
I
late
thought
to
it would,
think
but
about this
it's-
shit. I'm mad at you, Dave. I don't like
Well,
this.
good answer. You guys have already passed the test. You're already not idiots, I think.
We could be president and vice president.
God.
Technically.
We could be gods.
This last one might melt your brains a little bit, but you've already passed. This is just a bonus.
I'm already done
test now. It feels like I'm at work.
Seriously,
Oh.
this is supposed to be my escape from.
This sounds like me with Breath of the Wild next a couple episodes.
You guys think this is relaxing?
Oh God!
All right, in a lake, we have a lake. There's a patch of lily pads. Right.
Yep.
Every day the patch doubles in size.
What the fuck?
It takes 48 days for the patch to cover the entire lake. How long does it take for the patch to cover half the lake?
Oh my God, dude! There's just too many variables. Hold on a second.
Right.
There's a lake.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of variables. There's a lake. Every day the lily pad patch.
Okay, now we're
doubles in
talking about
size.
fucking exponents, and don't feel like doing that right now.
It takes 48 days for the patch to cover the lake. How long does it take to cover half the lake?
All right, so do one more time. I think I got this.
Every day the patch doubles in size.
Every day the patch doubles in size.
2.
It takes 48 days to cover the entire lake. How
Right.
long to cover half the lake?
Oh my God!
You want to say 24, obviously, but that's not going to be the right answer.
16.
All right, sorry, Dave. You got to do it one more time.
No, that's no problem. In a lake, patch of lily pads. Every day the patch doubles in size.
Every day, the patch doubles in size.
Takes
Okay.
48 days for the patch to cover the whole lake.
Oh my God!
How long for it to cover half the lake?
Right. Takes 48 days to fill up the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's our hint, because what's half of 48? 24. How to get to 24? All right, hold on a second. Oh my God, hold on a second. It just takes 1 day to get it to double.
Takes
24.
Yes, doubles every day. Covers the lake in 48 days.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's
This is a little tricky.
Maybe I'm thinking
47. 47.
Final answer? Eric looks confused. Are you in agreement?
I don't know, dude. I'm like I said, I'm not.
Eric,
my brain is
Eric,
like
that's
shut
all-
off right now.
Yeah.
Brandon
hold on.
is correct. It is
Explain this
47
to me.
days because every day it doubles. and
You
if
just
it
care about
fills
the
in-
last 2 days.
If it
Because
fills
every
in
day it
48,
doubles.
half
So if the
lake
last day is 48,
47.
This is bullshit.
half of 48 would have been the day before.
I hate this.
Congratulations, guys.
Good job, Brandon.
You got all 3 of them right. You know, this is this quiz was brought to you not by Carl's Jr. It was brought to you by Reader's Digest.
I think the first one was the harder one for sure.
And I was able to get to the hard one, but the other ones I was fucking...
Yeah.
A little math, a little logic, a little bit of both. We didn't want to make it too crazy for you, but congratulations, both you guys get to go to space camp. So
yay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are we done?
Go in the time machine.
Are we done yet?
All right. Well, let's clock out. It's late. Eric, why don't you hit us up with hit us up with the socials, and if people want to recommend something else for us dumbasses to read or watch or play.
Sure. If you want to follow us, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy. You can join our Discord, the nomadsfantasy.com/Discord. You can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@nomadsofantasy. You can visit our merch store because we got some merch up right now. Go to the nomadsfantasy.com. Click on that store link. Yeah. Play our game, whatmapgame.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
Other than that,
that's really all I got for you.
high fives. Thank you for joining us this week, boys.
Thank you. Thank you very much, as always. And, as always, to you, dear listeners, safe travels, nomads.
Safe travels, bro.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco.